At the count of 3, let's take a deep breath. Are you ready? 1, 2. Wonderful thing to do, isn't it? Breathing controls many aspects of our lives, physical and mental. So you want to stop, meditate, and be grateful for what you have and who you are? Just breathe. Smelling the flowers, smelling the scent of your loved one. It all involves the nose. Had I made this point a year ago, I would have been shy of a hypocrite for a very simple reason. My nose didn't work correctly. It felt as if I had a chronically clogged nose that wouldn't get any better with any remedy I would try. And because of this, sleeping had always been a nightmare. At night, I would spend up to an hour trying to get my nose to work correctly, only to then be able to fall asleep. With time, this situation got worse and worse to the point that it affected me emotionally. I went to the doctor, and as it turns out, my septum, which is the inner wall of the nose, was so deviated that a 3mm camera couldn't fit in there, meaning that my brain wasn't getting enough oxygen to perform normal activities, such as resting at night. In December 2021, I underwent nose surgery to correct my septum and heal my nose overall. This resulted not only in greater academic achievement, but also much better and fulfilling sleep time. Now, back to the present. As of today, I'm less than a year away from graduating high school, and stakes are higher than ever. Most of the time, I'm on a very tight schedule that costs me some sleeping hours. Something which I've realized is considered a normal thing by teachers, parents, and sometimes the students ourselves, when it really shouldn't be that. But why? Because according to research dating back to the 1990s, teenagers have entirely different sleep needs that the education system in several countries, including Mexico, has completely ignored. According to sleep researcher Mary Carson, there is a sleep phenomenon in teenagers and younger adults called sleep phase delay, which refers to the natural delay in our sleep cycles, which makes our bodies produce sleep hormones a bit later than our productive clock tells us we should be asleep. Nevertheless, biological factors aren't the only thing at play, but social factors as well. Academic pressure paired up with an early school start time makes the perfect recipe for sleeplessness. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, has measured school time among different countries and found that in the ranges of 12 to 15 years of age, Mexico is the country with the most school hours, while countries with a much better education index, such as Finland, have far lower times. To this, we must add that through the PISA study, the OECD was able to conclude that there is no relation between school hours and quality of education. Rather, there should be a balance between academic activities and extracurricular activities for the greater development of the social and emotional dimensions. As you may see, school is a very common factor in this sleeplessness discussion. However, so far, we've only tied school to causes, not consequences, even though it's found on both sides. Among others, the main effects of sleep deprivation in teenagers include memory impairment and reduced academic performance, key aspects in a student's academic life. But this is not exactly the point that I'm trying to make. On June 20th of this year, a teenager from South Carolina fell asleep behind the wheel. Fortunately, this crash was fatal, and 16-year-old Chris was pronounced dead on the scene. Perhaps getting a bad grade won't kill you, but slow physical reflexes, short attention spans, and difficulties in concentration when driving will. We must analyze this problem to the fullest to efficiently solve it. We can't just go, we're not sleeping enough, without backing it up with a strong foundation. Luckily, we know the way school structure makes absolutely zero sense for the students to sleep healthy. If, and only if, schools are really worried about potentializing our academic achievements, sleep shouldn't be scheduled around our daily activities, but rather, our daily activities, academic ones or not, should be scheduled around a healthier and sufficient sleep time.